5 years ago, I had 8 employees. I have over 300 now. No matter what the government is doing to us, we find a way. We find a way. And it's like that with all small business. You find a way. Because you still have the common sense to say, sell Mom's China. Sell Mom's China. We're in trouble. We can figure it out. And we'll all stick together. And that's who the entrepreneurs are. That's why we focus on entrepreneurial spirit. The second thing, education. Our education is so upside down. They're training people now with Common Core to be workers. I don't want my children to be trained to be a worker. I want my children trained to be a dreamer. And you don't train people to dream, you encourage them to dream. Nobody knows our history. It is being rewritten in real time now. 2 weeks ago, Ted Cruz was a terrorist for asking to delay Obamacare. This week, 10 Democratic senators are requesting a delay on Obamacare. And the president has said he'll do it. Are they terrorists too? It's insane what's going on, and we all know it. And we all know it. The only thing that will save us is if we know our own history. 5 or 6 years ago, Lord put on my heart, clay pots. What? Clay pots. The Dead Sea Scrolls. What are our sacred scriptures? What are our American sacred writings? The National Archives. They're supposed to have everything to restart society. I don't trust the people in Washington to know what it takes to restart our society. Look at our houses as an example. You want to know why we're all fat and watch too much TV? Tell me what's at the center of your house. You go to buy a new house, you talk to a designer, you will say, I want, in the center of the house, I want a great room, and I want it to merge with the kitchen and the TV, and it's all one room, and it's great. Because we're fat and we watch too much TV.
We don't have that, though.
That's the center of our house. What's at the center of our towns now?
No TV.
What's at the center of Salt Lake City? Our prophets knew, and the prophets of old knew. You build the temple on a hill, and you put your tent there, and you open it up, so you see what's important. What do we see in most of our towns? Either government or malls. Gee, we're socialistic shoppers. That's all we are. We're consumers that let our life be run by the government. It's all in the architecture. So don't tell me they know how to fix it. You know how to fix it. Americans know how to fix it. But they have to know their history. How many people know that when they first started going to Ohio, they said, make sure when they start settling out in the far west of Ohio, they use the pattern of the town green. They didn't. But our founders told them, the old timers, make sure they put the church in the center of every town next to a green. That's what we did when the Pilgrims got here.
What's a green?
That's what we did here. We're going to have to start from scratch, guys. Education, entrepreneurial spirit, charity. Charity. Abraham Lincoln was so... He's one of the most amazing men to ever live. Next to George Washington, it's Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln gets up to give his second inaugural address. And he's listening to Johnson. he's listening to his vice president and his inaugural address, and he's drunk. And he wants to punish the South. And Lincoln is just beside himself. And he's like, and I'll tell you another thing. We're going to go down there and we're going to kick their butts for what they did to us. And the crowd ate it up. But Lincoln knew it was wrong. And Lincoln got up to cut him off. And Lincoln got up, and as he's walking across the platform, somebody sees Lincoln, and he's so angry, he hates Lincoln so much, he stands up and lunges towards him. Nothing happens to Lincoln because a police officer is there, happens to be standing right there, and he just blocks him. As Lincoln is walking, it just happens all so fast, the police officer kind of blocks him, not intentionally, stops him, and then looks at him, recognizes who the man is. He said, "Sorry, I tripped." And he said, he didn't question him at all, because he knew who he was, and he said, of course, Mr. Booth. John Wilkes Booth was at the inaugural, on the stand. He was a celebrity. What a surprise, a Hollywood actor would go crazy. Lincoln gets up, and he talks about the country. And he talks about the great work that's still ahead, and all the suffering